Now, it's the second day of a UN summit in Ethiopia aiming to set new development goals for the international community. But no agreement on sustainable development will be credible without China's backing. After 3 decades of growth, the world's biggest country has a major challenge to deal with environmental damage. It's estimated that 20% of China's arable land is polluted mainly with heavy metals. 90% of groundwater is said to be contaminated. And more people are now at risk of being killed by air pollution than by smoking. Our China editor, Carrie Gracie, reports now from Hunan province in central China on the country's search for sustainability.
Water, the life giver. But here it's a silent killer. Yangjiqing's water is polluted with industrial waste. This land was once known as China's basket of rice and fish. But it's also rich in minerals. So as China became the factory to the world, chemical and metal industries moved in here. Untreated effluent in the water, heavy metals in the soil, sulfur dioxide in the air. A fifth of China's farmland is contaminated. And Yangjiqing complains her crops are all bad.
Here in this village, many people have cancer. 3 people died in 3 months. They were all so young. It's so toxic here.
China's often congratulated for pulling hundreds of millions from poverty. But wealth has come at a heavy price. Unregulated smokestack industries have ravaged the environment and damaged the health of generations. But now polluting factories are being demolished. China has said creating jobs and turning a profit can no longer come at the expense of public health.
No more economic growth stained by blood. Under the new environment law, every factory has to be approved before it is built. No more unregulated chaos.
Just one of the factories forced to move away from Mrs. Yang's fields into a new industrial zone. In the old days, minerals for enamel paints were mixed by hand, and no one wore a mask. But the consequences of China's industrial revolution are harder to overcome. At only 3 years old, Yang Yang has 3 times the safe level of lead in his blood. No sign of the factory next door moving. His health endangered by the air, food and water that should nourish him. China has a long way to go to make good on its promise to children like Yang Yang. Sustainable development in which every life counts. Carrie Gracie, BBC News, Hunan province.
Britain's Chris Froome has maintained his lead in the Tour de France after